Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. In this video, we are exploring one trifold technique that creates 7 completely different projects. I usually pack all the ideas into one weekly video, but this time I'm breaking it into 7 videos released every 2 days. That way, it's less overwhelming. So far, we've done Infinity Book on day 1. On day 2, we did a do-si-do journal. I know it's difficult to see, but that's what we did on day 2. And today, day 3, we are making this interactive pocket page. It's this one here. And this is what it looks like. Imagine it's a page in your journal and you open it up to reveal angels singing. All right, let's get to it. So we are exploring a trifold, right? In case you haven't seen the first 2 videos. This is what we're exploring. The first 2 videos will be linked down below, but you absolutely don't have to watch them. Each project is a standalone project. So basically, this is what we've done so far. This time, we're not going to do the Z fold. So first of all, you need to think about the size of your paper or the page in your journal, really. So this is going to be a page in my journal, just standard copy-sized paper or A4 size, folded in half. And of course, I need my project to fit on the page. So I'm going to choose a scrapbook paper, which I've already chosen, preferably something double-sided like this. And I'm going to mark myself, how tall do I want my project to be? So here we go. I want it to be slightly shorter than my page. Chop it down. Perfect. Now I need to divide this into 3 sections because we're doing a trifold, and this is 12-inch width, so I need to divide it into 3, which means I need to score at increments of 4 inches. So you can either mark your page and then fold at the markings, or of course use your scoring board and score at 4 inches and 8 inches. So with the previous 2 projects, we did the Z fold like this, but now we're just gonna do this instead. We're kind of opening it up like this. And that means I want this to be my front. So I'm gonna turn it this way and fold at the score line, maybe burnish it down a little, and then fold this one. Perfect. Now going back to this project that I've already completed, you might recognize this book from my mess making project. So absolutely you can continue this book and make this interactive pocket page. But the reason why I brought it back on screen is because I wanted to show you, I want my project to have this tag shape. Seems like so far everything I've done has this tag shape. It looks like that's my new obsession. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this. First, I want to check if I need to shorten this edge. Sometimes you might need to shorten this edge tiny little bit, but it's actually fine now. No need to shorten anything. Bring my tag template card and draw myself a line where I want to cut, or I can just use that as a guide, but doesn't matter. I'll do it this way. Lines drawn and cut. Lovely, and here's what's going on. Oh, isn't that pretty? I'm just gonna ink the edges. Excellent, and now time to bring back the offcut piece. Isn't that just perfect? I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna use that. Or you can use any other scrapbook paper. So at this point, you decide how many pockets you want to have. I really wanted to really stuff it full of goodness. And so I have 3 pockets here, 4 pockets here, 3 pockets here. So that's 10 pockets in total. These are all the same size. And then I have bigger ones here, and then smaller ones here. This is where you decide what you want to do for your interactive pocket page. I think the more pockets, the better, personally. So first thing I'm going to do is trim this so that the pockets are going to fit onto the page. I know you can't see where my fold is, but the fold is here. I'm going to trim it slightly smaller right over here. Excellent. So now all of my pockets are going to fit within the folds. Very important. And now I'm a little bit particular. So I like to have them like either all the same. I don't know. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 1 inch increments. So that's 1 pocket, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm aiming for 10, 6, 7, 8, 9. Change my mind. I'm going to do 6 small pockets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I need another 4. So I'm going to do 1.5 inches. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that worked out perfect. 6 1-inch pockets and 4 1.5-inch pockets. Excellent. Let's cut it down. Okay, 6 1-inch pockets and 4 1.5-inch pockets. And now I'm going to ink around all of them. Perfect. All right, move that aside, bring my thing in, and I want 4 of these in the middle, the small ones. I'm going to place everything how I want it, and then see if I need to make any adjustments or anything like that. That's looking good. I want the bottoms to be in the same line. So I'm going to put 2 large pockets. Large. They're 1.5-inch pockets down the bottom. And I've got 2 of each left. So maybe I can do, we can do whatever we want to do. Something like this. Maybe I want to make this a little bit different just because I did it like that in the other one. So I'm kind of just following the same thing. I want these to be in the same line. All right. So I want the tops to be in the same line. The bottoms to be in the same line. Just because I'm obviously a little bit nuts in the brain. Everything has to be just so. That's what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want for your little pockets. Okay, now we need to start gluing down. I'm just going to do one on screen and I'll do everything else off screen. So perhaps I'm going to start with the smaller pockets. And I want to use a glue. Doesn't matter what type of a glue, but I want a very thin line of glue. See how this is chunky? A lot of glue comes out of this. And what happens then is the pocket, this shallow pocket becomes even more shallow because the glue smushes. So thin line of glue around the 3 sides. Like so. And glue it down. From now on, what I'm going to be looking at is, like I said, I want these to be in line. I want the tops over here to be in line. It's just more pleasing to the eye when you have stuff in there. And also, when I'm gluing these pockets, of course, I'm looking that the sides are all in line. All right, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, even this looks cool. Doesn't this look cool? Little flag thing. Very interesting. Off I go, gluing stuff down. Hello, it is I. Just wanted to show you this top one, because it's larger than this one. I'm not aligning the bottoms of the pocket. I'm aligning the top so that the top is in the same line. Oh, such silliness over here. Okay, now I can just plop these in the middle. All right, all the pockets have been successfully glued down. Excellent. Now we have to fill them with some fun goodness. So anything little that you might have is gonna look beautiful. It kind of goes over the pocket above it. Very cool. All right, that's it for these little things. Some other fun stuff might be stickers. Plop them in. Or like little cutouts from scrapbook papers and whatnot. Little images like this. Maybe some little vellum pieces. That looks fun. Anything little. Next thing. Little tags. I have a little booklet here with little tags. So choose a couple of tags, ink around the edges. I think my idea of this is if you're making a journal that you're going to sell or you're gifting a journal, doesn't matter. When you fill these pockets with different types of things, so not like all tags or all little stickers. There's an array of different things. I think it makes it more exciting. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just fun to have a selection of different things. So another thing that we can add, of course, are postage stamps. Here comes Papua New Guinea. That's gonna go in there. Next, we're gonna go with Hong Kong. Plop that one in there. Next, US. How old is this stamp? Look at this, 4 cents. I don't mind using this stuff, to be honest. What's the point of hoarding? We're gonna go with Australia. Maybe we can do New Zealand. And all of these stamps that fell out. Deutschland. Another, I think, German one. Oh, Australia. And more Australia. I mean, when do you stop? You can like have so much stuff in this. You can just keep on filling it up. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna stop here. I think that's, oh, this one's looking a bit empty. What's this one? India? Pakistan. Oh, we have a bit of this and a bit of that. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I think it's looking pretty good. Maybe one more. Hong Kong. All right, I'm stopping here. Now let's finish this off. Close, and I want to give it a little something and see how it opens. Well, we'll take care of that in a second. I want to put a little something on there. This, I purchased this. It's got beautiful images. I didn't get it online. I actually got it in a shop, but I can't remember which shop. So, I like this lady. Or actually, I think I'm going to go with this lady instead. And I'm going to cut it out. Recently, I went to a scrapbooker's garage sale. Oh, everyone's got the same problem. And the problem is the following. We have too much stuff, but we also want more stuff. Why is that? So, you know, have a look. Maybe you have something like that in your area where people are getting rid of their stuff. And I was listening to some ladies talking. One of the ladies asked another lady, how much money did you make today? It was towards the end of the day. And she said, oh, I'm not sure what price she said, but she said that let's say she made 200, but she spent 150. And that's just how it is, isn't it? Like if you went to a scrapbooker's garage sale, you would be taking your stuff that you're no longer using or you have too much of, but you'll be buying stuff. I actually got these papers. People often ask me, can you share links? I can't share links because I usually get my stuff on either Facebook Marketplace or D-Stash type things or whatever. Anyway, that's beside the point. So I just made it look pretty. It doesn't have to be spectacular because it's going to be inside a journal. Next thing I want to do is a closure. I'm using this beautiful baker's twine. I'm going to go to the back and apply glue in the middle. Apply the baker's twine over the glue and masking tape over that twine. We just love to buy stuff, don't we? We love to acquire new things. Okay, where's my page? Prepare the page in the beginning. There's going to be a page in my journal. This would absolutely be a beautiful front cover topper. So it can most definitely go on the cover of your journal rather than just on a page inside a journal. Apply glue, or you can have it like floating. Clip it onto a page. It doesn't have to be glued down. Anyway, I'm sure you know all of this, but I have chosen to glue it down. And here we go. I just feel like adding a tiny little bit of stenciling. And isn't that cool as a journal cover? I think that's pretty cool. And then you can have other things in here. You can have large pockets with this journal belongs to, or ideas on how to use the journal if you're gifting it to someone who's unfamiliar with junk journals. Or I mean, you can take this so many different ways, but here we go. Finally tying a bow. And I used way too much twine, so it feels a bit wasteful, but I'm going to keep this for journal topper, like tag toppers and stuff. I would much rather have extra length than not enough. All right, that's it. Isn't that so straightforward, but so effective and so beautiful? Especially if you make a few. Oh, look how gorgeous that's looking. I just had to add a bit of stenciling on this one as well. Makes it look so much better. All right, well, that completes day 3 of our that completes day 3 of our trifold technique and making 7 different projects. This was day 3. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not anything like, None of this is groundbreaking or brand new that you haven't seen before, but I think it's nice to do things a little bit differently occasionally. Like for example, the trifold. You take a trifold, you play around with it, look at it, and you think, what sort of stuff can I just do with this one little technique? Now imagine all the other things that exist in the world and all the opportunities for exploration, and I mean specifically in crafting. Take the Do-Si-Do book, for example, the Day 2 project. You can apply this technique into your journal making. You can make, like I said, a full journal in this style. You can have 6 journals made into one chunky book. Like, you can explore this idea and take it so many different ways. And that's what I'm doing with this kind of a series. I'm just exploring a very simple idea, which is the trifold thing, and coming up with 7 different projects where in actual fact there's probably, thank you Banjo, there's probably thousands of things that you can do with just the trifold. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon for day 4. Bye.